I'm Will. My company's Sabotage Limited. We produce fashion brands. We've got 3 brands at the moment. Fly, which is men's and women's streetwear, Butch, which is women's fashion wear, and Gola, which is a sports brand. I'm the founder and the managing director. I look after sales, marketing and creative design. I did a degree in textile design. After that, after several jobs, I worked for a textile company. Whilst doing that, I was in a band and produced t-shirts for bands, produced t-shirts for my own bands, lots of other bands that I knew. Some of those bands became quite successful. We ended up with a t-shirt merchandising business for rock bands, and then we started making clothes as an extension of that, really, just because we wanted to put our own designs on t-shirts. That was a long time ago, and it's changed. Streetwear didn't really exist when we started, and the whole market sort of evolved really, and the brands took over from the other businesses that we did. I was already doing the merchandising and various design projects for other people as a freelancer, and in '94 we started up this Sabotage as a separate company to produce its own branded products. Working for other people who produced, well, as a freelancer and as producing merchandise for other brands, and seeing the main story is this one guy who used to get us to design all his stuff and produce all his stuff, and he had a great big Aston Martin and he seemed to make a lot of money, and we thought that would be a really good idea, we'll do that. So we started doing it ourselves instead of for him, and then about 2 months later he went bust and his Aston Martin got taken away, and we realised it wasn't quite as easy as we thought it was going to be. But yeah, we wanted to do something creative for ourselves. We wanted to, we're designers, raw designers originally, and we wanted to create a business where we could create our own ideas and produce it, and not necessarily have to design for other people and do the things they wanted to do. The main thing about working in fashion, I think, is there's thousands of design graduates, and I think people who want to work in fashion shouldn't necessarily always take the obvious route of thinking they want to be a designer. There's very few fashion designer jobs in the industry, really, and very few of them have much creative freedom in them. Most of them really are just knocking out high street product for huge chains, and I think there's far more interesting and sometimes better paid jobs if you look on the other areas, whether it's technical, everyone seems to want to have the glamour jobs that perceive to be glamorous, of designing or doing marketing or buying, and there's many other jobs that are probably more rewarding and a lot more interesting. And I'd advise, look at education seriously, but look at different routes, not the straightforward ones. Look at the other elements that are in fashion, and try and be a bit more specialised, and in an area where there is a requirement for skilled staff, but there's a shortage of staff in certain areas. Try and identify those, get training in those, and then really get some real experience, because there's thousands of graduates, and the real thing is getting, we'll always interview somebody first if they've had real experience in the job.